Mark and Caribe, the last time I talked to you, I was in a pretty heavy situation that was happening at Fifth Avenue and Scottsdale Road, and I stuck around for a little bit after everybody dispersed there, and I got some more information. There's a jewelry store that was about a block in the shops at Fifth Avenue, and the friends of that jewelry store owner had heard about potential looting, potential demonstrations. They had heard what may have been happening to the Apple store, and they basically got a posse together. They grabbed their guns, and they came and stayed inside of the jewelry store and said, if anybody comes to loot this jewelry store, we are going to make sure that we protect it. And they said, this is our Second Amendment right. We're allowed to have these guns. This is our private business, and we are going to stay inside. So then, as the protesters then moved down Fifth Avenue from Scottsdale Road, they were breaking the benches. If anybody's been to the shops along Fifth Avenue, there are some wooden benches, and then there are some stores with some jewelry and some other, sort of touristy trinkets, and they were breaking windows. And they came to this jewelry store, and they saw 6 or 7 people with rifles and handguns, and they stopped. And it is, I believe you're seeing video of what happened outside of that store. That is when they began to hold a bit of a protest. They were kneeling, they had their hands up, they were chanting, but they stopped outside of this store, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with the guys that had guns inside. And they said that their main objective was just to defend the store. I spoke to the son of the owner, who did not want to be identified by name, and here's what he had to say about exactly what they were doing with all those guns in the store on this night.
So you all were defending the store tonight?
You know what? Yeah. That's all we were here to do. We weren't here to hurt anybody. We weren't here to harm anybody. After seeing exactly what happened to the Apple store, this isn't a protest. This isn't rioting. This is crime, And I understand what happened in Minnesota is horrific.
So that is the son of the store owner, again, who did not want to be identified, and we're not identifying the store either, but they were there to defend it. Now, the protesters did eventually move on. The police were called. The police declared it an unlawful assembly, and those folks did eventually move on down the corridor. That's when they vandalized the original chop shop. They were unhappy about how things went in front of the jewelry store. They were unhappy about their interaction with police. They took a large recycling cylinder of some sort and threw it through the window of the original chop shop. And so there was actually an employee of the chop shop who was just present, just keeping an eye on his store. And after everybody moved on, he was the one sweeping up the glass. And that's kind of the way a lot of these folks in Scottsdale are going to have to deal with it tomorrow, is they're going to show up having not been part of this and having to clean up their businesses. And in some cases, these are small, locally owned businesses. These are people who this is their livelihood. And this is, you had protesters come through and decide that they were going to destroy some things for who knows what reason, when these people were completely uninvolved in any of the issues that we're seeing nationwide. And so those are the people that we're going to be eventually reaching out to tomorrow as we figure out just how they sift through the pieces of their broken businesses.
All right, that's Team 12's Mitch Carr reporting for us. Had some interesting encounters tonight with store owners who decided to defend their jewelry store inside with weapons. And then protesters moved just next door to the chop shop and threw some sort of a receptacle through the window.